There you go, song. So, there you go. Look at me, Lord.
Liner.
First and foremost, I'd like to give all honor, glory, and praises to the Most High God Yahweh, and Son of God, Son Yahweh Shah. We are the Hebrew Israelites become weak, and we got to teach the black, Hispanic, and the Native American that they are true Hebrew Israelites according to the Bible. It's also to know that the white man will be destroyed, and also America will be destroyed by thermonuclear fire. All right. Con. And what I'm going to be going on today, because I would like to ask all Israel, should Black, Hispanic, and Native American children be implemented into public schools? Alright? Because I'm going to be going on the invented history of the factory model of education. Alright? So, we're going to be going on what is the school there for? Alright? Give me. All right, bring it up.
The invented history of the factory model of education. What do I mean when I talk about transformational productivity reforms that can also boost student outcomes? Our K-12 system, our K-12 system largely still adheres to the century-old industrial age factory model of education. A century ago, maybe it made sense to adopt seat time requirements for graduation and paid teachers.
So seat time, all right? Well, seat time, there's a certain time you have to stay in school to graduate. All right, that's the C time. And what does product mean? Go ahead, give me the definition of product. Because it said to product, to produce, right? To produce. Produce. Because we have to find out what productivity means. All right.
Bring it out. Productivity, a state or quality of producing something, especially crops.
Gone. So to produce something. All right. Read it again.
Productivity, the state or quality of producing something, especially crops.
All right. So basically, growing something. All right. Growing crops. What are you growing crops for? So you can use the crops to eat it. You can use the crops to help your animals. All right. So bring it out.
So I'm gonna read it again. What do I mean when I talk about transformational productivity reforms?
So what does it mean by transformation productivity reforms? All right. What does it mean by growing something? What does it mean by education growing as time goes? Read.
That can also boost student outcomes.
That can also bring student outcomes. What is this growth in the school going to outcome for children? All right, read.
Our K-12 system largely still adheres to the century-old industrial-age factory model of education.
So these schools are going based off a century ago. All right, they're going off the same thing. They're going off the factory model of school. All right, basically slavery. Read.
And a century is 100 years. All right. So our K-12 system largely still adheres to the century-old industrial-age factory model of education.
So these schools are still going off the education that was taught 100 years ago. All right, read.
Maybe it makes sense to adopt seat time requirements for graduation and pay teachers based on their educational credentials and seniority.
So it would make sense to have seat time. What is seat time? A period of time until you graduate. It would make sense to have seat time. It would make sense to pay 12th grade, K to 12. All right, which is 12 years. All right, and it would make sense to pay teachers off their credentials. Give me the definition of credentials. Because the definition of credentials mean is the achievements. All right. All right, bring it up.
Credentials, a noun, pronoun credential, a qualification, achievement, personal quality.
So basically, just saying they want to pay the teachers off their quality, off their achievements. What are some achievements that teachers get paid for, that they get hired for? Their GED, bachelor's degree,
science, social degree, social science,
high school diploma, all right? All the things that they learned and achieved, that's what these schools hire them for. All right, read.
Or aspect of a person's background, typically when used to indicate that they are suitable for something.
So they're saying that these teachers are suitable for the job. All right, read.
A century ago, maybe it made sense to adopt seat time requirements for graduation and pay teachers based on their educational credentials and seniority.
Because now these schools are hiring people to be teachers that don't even know anything. They're just there to just keep the kids in order, to keep them there. All right, that's what they're just there for. All right, read.
Educators were right to fill the large class sizes that prevailed in many schools.
So now that we have large class sizes, We got, cause I remember I was in 5th grade. We had a class, our one class, we had a class of 49 people. All right. So we have large class sizes now. Read.
But the factory model of education is wrong. Salak. But the factory model of education is the wrong model for the 21st century.
So you're saying the factory model of education is the wrong model for the 21st century. All right. Read.
And that was said by U.S. Secretary of Education Arne Duncan, 2010.
So you can look him up. Read.
One of the most common ways to criticize our current system of education is to suggest that it's based on a factory model, an alternative condemnation. Industrial era, the implication is the same.
Schools, so it would be good to base this education in the school system, in the school system as a factory. All right, as a factory. Okay. Well, how does the factory work? You get there, you do what you're supposed to do, and you do it, get a break, and then go home. All right, read.
The implication is the same. Schools are woefully outmoded.
All right, let's get the definition. Woefully. All right, they're woefully outmoded. All right. All right, bring it out.
Woefully, in a manner expressing sorrow or misery.
So this educational system is
very badly. That's it.
all right, very badly. This school system is bad. It's miserable. All right, that's how they're describing the school system. All right, because they're basing it's just like a factory. It's just like you go to work, you put the factory line. All right, read.
As edX CEO Annette Agarwal puts it, it is pathetic that the education system has not changed in 100 of years.
It is pathetic that the education system has not changed in 100 years because they're still trying to go off the slave base of how they're teaching us. They're still treating us as slaves. Give me Proverbs 22:6. Give me Proverbs 22. Because this is the reason. Because you're the parents is the one that's supposed to be teaching their children, not these school systems. All right, bring it out.
Proverbs 22:6. Train up a child in the way he should go.
It said, train up a child in the way he should go. All right, your child's way is not to go. It's to be taught like a slave. It's to not be treated like a slave. Not to be taught to be a slave to somebody else. Or you actually want your children to learn. All your children's going through in the school is misery. They're just sitting there listening to the teacher, talking about teaching you a whole bunch of lies, teaching you that your life started as slavery. All right, teaching you that Christopher Columbus conquered America and he found America, which he did conquer America, but they're saying that he found America, which he didn't. There was already Hispanics and Native Americans here.
They're saying it as their people, right? We know that there were other people here. But a man from their nation conquered this place, right? That's basically how they're saying he found this place, because he conquered it.
Come on, bring it out.
The Clayton Christensen Institute, Michael Horn and Meg Evan argue something similar. A factory model for schools no longer works. How to break free of our 19th century factory model education system.
So they're saying that this factory model education system is not working anymore. You gotta break free because you don't see a lot of people graduating from college and high school and stuff because all your children's going through is misery. They're just sitting there. They'll sit there for about 30 minutes. This is how it went, right? So we got into the classroom, we ate breakfast, then we'll come to the carpet, sit there, listen to the teacher about 30 minutes, go to your desk, do your work, go to lunch. You're really, you have your assigned seats that you go to, all right? You have assigned seats there was like 100 seats over there, and you had assigned seats.
Yo, you had like a piece of paper on your desk with you.
That's exactly what it was. You had your assigned seats, you ate lunch, you went to recess, you was always monitoring what you was doing. If you did something just a little wrong, if you had said, "Oh, don't do that," you would get in trouble. All right, that's how it went. You get from recess, you come back to the class, then you do more work, and then you just leave. That's how it went. All right, bring it out. Because how it should be going is you should be able to teach the kids how to have fun while they're doing the work. All right, they should be able to do things while learning. All right, how your parent will teach you at home.
Multitask.
And multitask. All right, don't just put some writings on the board and then tell the class to just solve the problems. How about you go through them and you teach them, except for just putting the problems on the board and then go eat an apple at your desk. All right, read.
Advised Joel Rose, the co-founder of the New Classrooms Innovation Partners. Education's next, Joanne Jacobs, point us beyond the factory model. The single best idea for reforming K-12 education, writes Forbes contributor Stephen Denny, ending the factory model of management. There's nothing especially educational about factory-style management, according to the American Enterprise Institute's Rick Hess. I'd like to add, there's nothing especially historical about these diagnoses either. Blame the pursuers. The factory model of education is invoked as shorthand for the flaws in today's schools.
For the flaws in today's schools. So you have white people in these governments that's noticing the flaws in these schools. But then, there's nothing going to change in these schools. They're going to see, okay, we're able to keep on putting black people in the jail. Let's keep on doing this. All right, that's how the
School to prison system.
school to prison system. The schools are just like prison. All right, you're gated around. You're monitored whatever you do. There's cameras all in the building. All right. So let's start getting into these precepts, all right? Because your children's supposed to be going off your order. Because there's a problem in the household. Your child is so much in tune by listening to orders from your teachers, because they think that they know so much that they would even listen to the parents at home. All right. So now that's just putting a sword. That's putting a division between you and your parent.
Sirach 7 and verse 23. Hast thou children? Instruct them.
It said, hast thou children? Instruct them. All right? Give me the definition of instruct. Sirach. The definition of instruct is order. All right? Order them to do what you want. All right? Because you have to have that respect for your parents. All right? Read.
Instruct them. And bow down their neck from their youth.
They bow down their neck from their youth. All right, when you go to these other countries and they bow down to people, what does that show? That shows a sign of respect. All right, that means you have to give them orders. All right, so that they learn to respect you. So when you tell them to do something, they respect what you say and they do it. All right, when you tell them to learn this, when you tell them to learn that, go read this, go read that, they do it. Because they're in their mind, you're the parent, they're supposed to be listening to you, and that's it. All right? You're not supposed to give me Sirach.
And And what up, brother? And I just want to piggyback off of that. When it says, "Hast thou children?" When you went to when the young lion went to Proverbs 22:6, he said, "Raise a child in the way that he should go." You have children, right? All of Israel have children. Well, not all of Israel, but it says, "Instruct them." That means if you have children, give them order. A child needs order. A child needs purpose too, whether it's male or female. And bow down their neck from their youth. That means teach them to respect you. Teach them to respect everybody else. But if your child is in a school system, that man and that woman that's in their classroom is teaching them to respect them. They're teaching them the way that they should go. They're leading that child in the way that they should go. They're teaching that child in the way they should go. When that child gets out of hand and gets out of order, they're calling you to come and help them out. But I'm gonna let the young lion finish that.
Because you have to see the reason why your kids is not respecting you is because they're letting their teachers, their principals, the staff around the school get into their head.
Yeah, they're bringing other doctrines home.
Con.
And it's not the learnings and the integrity of the house.
Con.
The integrity of your house is much different from the integrity at the school.
And then because you have to learn, you have to see the doctrines that they're pushing is what we're gonna get next. It's what we're gonna get next.
It's not mostly about the doctrines. It's mostly about the doctrines that those teachers learn from their families. And those people may not be from the same nation as you are. They may not have the same upbringings as you. And they're pushing their doctrines and learnings onto your kids as they teach them. And those kids are wanting to do everything that they did when they were kids because they're teaching them the things that they did as they were a child and how their mom and father raised them.
Straight up.
This is Sirach chapter 11 and verse 29. Bring not every man into thine house.
All right, bring not every man into thy house. What is in thy house? Your wife, your daughter, your son. All right, you're probably the stranger that came from within his gates. All right, the people that come over, that's inside your house. All right, and what's inside your children is their mind. So if you have people putting stuff in their mind, they're gonna bring it home into your house.
Right? That's right.
All right, they're gonna come bring it right into the house. They're gonna be like, "Oh, mom, guess what we learned about LGBTQ? Oh, I want to be a queer. I want to be a lesbian." Because the teachers that are in the schools are saying it's okay to do this, it's okay to do that. All right, read.
Sirach chapter 11 verse 29. Bring not every man into thine house, for the deceitful man hath many trains.
Because the deceitful man has many trains. These teachers are doing it on purpose, so that you can go off and you cannot keep the law, statutes, commandments. That's why they're doing it. All right, that's a deceitful way of keeping you from keeping your laws.
They got many ideas, just like people say.
God.
They are doing it on purpose because they know that they don't have the same integrity they do as your house. They're pushing off their ideologies and everything else out on your children. That's why it's best not to let another man or woman raise your child. You're supposed to raise the child in the way they should go.
God. And while your father is trying to keep you masculine, your teacher is saying it's okay to be feminine. He's like, "Oh, is that what your father said? It's okay to be feminine. You don't always have to be masculine. It's all right." That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying in the schools. Give me. Come on, bring it out.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 12, and verse 10, we're going to read to 12. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
All right, so never trust thine enemy. So it's iron rusted, so is his wickedness. Iron is going to eventually rust.
It's sure to
It's sure to rust. Of a surety, that iron is going to rust. So of a surety, that the white man is going to show his wickedness. All right? So never trust thine enemy. All right? Come.
And this is how he shows his wickedness. Verse 11. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed.
So though he humble himself, though the enemy humble himself, he'd go crouching. He's like, it's okay.
He's gonna like, hey, Hey, come on, man.
But you always have to be seeking what he's trying to do.
How you
All
doing?
right?
Shake my hand. They always want to shake hands with you, man. I hate that. Don't. There you go.
All right, he's gonna come with words smoother than butter, but war is in his heart.
That's
All right, you
right.
gotta always look for what he's trying to do. All right, bring it out.
Verse 11, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed.
But yet take good heed. Take good heed what he's trying to do.
Stay
Always
circumspect.
stay circumspect. Always try to pay attention to what he's doing. Read.
And beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass.
Woo! And you shall be wise him as you have wiped the book.
I say it again.
And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass.
As you have wiped the looking glass. If I can see a glass, I wiped it. It was dirty, and I can see through it now. You have to be able to see right through that white man. You have to be able to see right through that
And all the
enemy.
other nations, man.
And you have to be aware of all nations. Remember, we have been here for over 400 years. So if we've been here for that long, we're acting just like them. And our people are acting just like them. You got to be aware of your own people as well.
Hey, Khan, because you never know. Your own people try to go to the enemy and work with them.
Verse 12, set him not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place.
All right, don't let him stand by thee. Don't let him don't let him be in the order. Don't let him be in the rank right beside you. Because when he overthrows you, when your kids is listening to him more than you, and he overthrows you, read.
And just to piggyback off of that, that's what he's doing. He's taking the place of the mother and the father that's in the home. All right, your children are going to put them and hold them over the mother and the father. That's how he takes the place of you. So set him not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place.
So when he overthrows you, he's gonna stand up in your place. He's gonna be like the parent of that child.
Come
All right, bring it out. What? Oh, bring him out.
Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat.
Don't let him sit at your right hand. Don't tell your teacher. Don't tell his teacher. Because if your kid's at school, don't tell your teacher, hey, get on her. All right, tell her this and that. All right, don't let him sit at your right side. That's just tell him to be the second parent.
Like, I'm gonna call your mama. I'm gonna call your daddy.
Hey,
You acting like the teacher's gonna start acting like
the parent.
they are the parent's right hand man.
Come on.
That's how they gonna do it. Hey, don't make me get on the phone and call your mama. I know your mama. I talk to your mama all the time. I talked to your mama yesterday about your report card. They're acting like they're the parents' right hand man.
All right, bring it out.
And thou at the least remember and thou at the least remember my words, and be pricked therewith.
All right, so remember the Most High's words. Remember what he said. So go back up to 10. Go back to 10.
This is Sirach 12. Never trust thine enemy.
It said never trust that enemy. Why should we never trust our enemy? Give me Leviticus 20 and 13. All right, I was talking about how don't let every man in thy house, because they can teach your kids something. They can say something's okay that is not okay. Bring it out.
This is Leviticus chapter 20, verse 13. If a man also lie with mankind, as he lieth with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death, their blood shall be upon them.
All right, that is something that, hey, they done bring drag queens into the school. All right, they teach because, hey, Zoe just went to a museum of the LGBTQ. They just made one. Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. But on a field trip. All right, so, hey, that's things that they're pushing. All right, that's things that they're saying that is all right. Is that you can be gay, you can be lesbian, you can be bisexual, you can be queer. You ever heard of that one, queer? You can be a plus. What is plus? Them, that, they, it. All right?
And they're taking no gender specification. That means at birth, they're not going to put a gender right there.
And queer is you you don't know you're saying that you don't know your gender yet, and you don't know who you're gonna like yet, boys or girls. All right. So that's things that they're pushing in the school system. All right. So let's go. All right. Yeah, Romans 12:2. Let's get Romans 12:2. All right. All right, and by you letting your kids in the school system, after you don't learn this, you still let them in the school system, this is what happened.
This is Romans chapter 12 and verse 2. And be not
Not conform to this world.
Check.
Romans chapter 12 and verse 2. And be not conformed to this world.
It said, be not conformed to this world. That's what you're doing if you're letting your kids go into the school system. You are conforming to the world. You are conforming to the things that the government wants you to do, so they could just get your kids ready to work for them. I remember productivity to grow like crops. They're growing them up to be a slave, so they could just be a slave. And they could just eat you up. Bring it out.
So this is blame the processions. The factory model of education is invoked and shorthand for the flaws in today's schools.
And just if y'all don't know what pursuance are, that's a city in Europe. All right.
The flaws that can be addressed by the new technologies or by the new policies, depending on who's telling the story. The factory model is also shorthand for the history of public education itself. The development of and change in the school system, or purportedly the lack thereof. Here's one version of events feared by Khan Academy Sal Khan, along with Forbes writer Mike F.O.R. in the history of education. So what these guys were just talking about is that they were just going over the timeline from the 1700s to the 19th century. And they were going over what is going on from then until now. You know, they used to sit kids in factories. The kids went to school at the factory. So it's a school system to the factory. They're just teaching the kids how to be into the school system. Into the factories. So they instituted the bell. You know, you got first period, you got second period, then you got these periods. And instituted the clock. So you know where to be on time and time. So when everybody's rushing into work,
That's because
the school that you went to had those clocks and had those bells. So you woke up in time enough to get to work and you knew not to be late. It's the same system they introduced while you were a kid, while your parents was a kid, until now. Same thing.
Because you also got that law, right? In school. If you be late too many times, they give your parents a warning, because they say that they can take you to jail for that. All right, if your kid is too late, or if your kid gets late all the time. All right.
Khan story bears many of the markers of invented history of the factory model of education: buckets, assembly lines, age-based cohorts, whole class instructions, standardizations, pursuers, horsemen, and a system that has not changed in 120 years. There are several errors and omissions in Khan's history. In his defense, it's only 11 and a half minutes long. There were laws on the books of colonial America, for example, demanding children to be educated.
So that was just breaking down what the video was if you didn't watch it. All right, read.
And what is going on in colonial America? Remember, colonial America is the same thing as colonizers. They colonized this place. All right? That's how it became colonial America. All right? For example, demanding children be educated, although not that schools be established. There was free public education in the U.S. prior to Horseman's introduction of the pursuance model. The so-called charity, the pursuance model is in Europe. when they took the kids and put them in the factory schools. So when they did the what was it called, the K to 12 system. That was a K to 12 system. It was a period of time they had to be in the schools. All right. So let me go back to here. So there are several errors and omission in Khan's history. In his defense, it's only 11 and a half minutes. There are laws on the books of colonial America, for example, demanding children to be educated, although not the schools be established. There was free public education in the U.S. prior to Horseman's introduction of the pursuance model. That is from going from the factory was right there, but the factory also had the school in it. The so-called charity schools there were other competing models for arranging classrooms and instructions as well. Notably, the monitorial system, moron, that below textbooks companies were already thriving before Horseman or any of 10 came along to decide what should be part of the curriculum. So, what do we call those people on the committee and the people that helped him out? No, I said it at the house. Lobbyists. They are lobbyists.
And what is a lobbyist? A person that tries to yeah, let's get the meaning. All right, bring it out.
A lobbyist, a person who takes part in an organized attempt to influence legislators.
So lobbyists are people that try to take attempts to influence people. That try to influence school systems to do this and to do that. All right, those are lobbyists.
You got realtor lobbyists. All right, you got the school board educator lobbyists. You got different lobbyists for different things that push influences, like your social construct. You know, how everything is, how everybody is put in certain demographic areas. Those are lobbyists that come in with all their money and influence those people to do it their way. And they're going to do it too. So these lobbyists came along and influenced the committee to do these things. All right? That's why you got everybody all bunched together coming in from out of different countries. So lobbyists, they persuaded that to happen.
Come.
The so-called charity schools there were other competing models for arranging classrooms and instructions as well. Notable, the monitorial system, more on that below. Textbook companies were already thriving before Horseman and Committee of 10 came along to decide what should be part of the curriculum. One of the side effects of the efforts of men and the others to create a public education system unmentioned by the Khan was the establishment of normal schools where teachers were trained. Another was the requirement. That's where you came in by the teachers that had their education and their requirements and everything and their seniority, all right? Where teachers were trained. Another was requirement that in order to demonstrate accountability, schools maintain records on attendance, salaries, and other expenditures. So their attendance, that's where you come in and you say if you're late so many times, they call your parents, or they implement it to the workplace too. If you're late so many times, you're fired. So it comes in for that persuasion system. They took the kids from the factory that were in the classrooms at the factory. Remember how noisy that was. They were easily distracted. So now they took the kids out of the factories and put them into schools because the kids were distracted and they weren't paying attention. This is why you just don't put your kids into the public school system. You homeschool them. The scripture says, raise thy child in the way that he should go. Huh? That's on you. Were teachers trained? Another was requirement that In order to demonstrate accountability, schools maintain records on attendance, salaries, and other expenditures. In order to demonstrate accountability,
So in order to demonstrate accountability, account on these kids to grow up and be able to get to work on time, read.
They wanted to, in order for these kids to learn accountability, to their accountability to, get to class on time. And they want to do things like if they want to get paid, they gotta have accountability.
God,
They gotta be responsible for their own.
so when they grow up and they get a job, they're able to be accountable to get to work on
And they
time.
were already in the same building as the factory.
Huh.
So they had to teach them accountability, get them back on time, so they get to work on time. So the production line will work properly and everything will get out on time. But if they can't teach these kids accountability, nothing gets out on time.
And how do they keep control on this, read?
salaries, and other expenditures. Despite cons schools maintain records on attendance, salaries, and other expenditures.
That's how they can take control is on attendance. All right, you have to be able to get to school on time. All right, read.
Despite Khan's assertions about the triumph of standardization, control of public schools in the U.S. have, unlike and persuasive, remained largely decentralized in the hands of states and local districts rather than federal government. The standardization of public education into a factory model held. The whole history of education itself was nowhere as smooth or coherent as Khan's simple timeline would suggest. There were vast differences between public education.
So they're saying that these schools are not as smooth and is able to get kids in order as these homeschooling systems. All right, but I still think that because I still think that your parents should be teaching you. All right.
So what Khan is trying to do is a good thing and a bad thing. He's trying to put the education back into the parents' hands, right? But also the bad thing is teaching them, have the parents teach them, right, how to sit still, how to be accountable, how to be in front of the TV, in front of the computer when the teacher that is on the other side of the computer is there. So the parent is disciplining them, but the teacher is still teaching them. Same thing. The only thing is that the parents is disciplining them, and the kids are not afraid. The kids are afraid of the parents, and the parents are making the kids do it. So now it's not the teachers. But you still got to understand what they're doing nowadays. Now they're putting the guns inside the teachers' hands, inside the classrooms. So what is it going to do next? Mrs. Hawkman has a 45 Glock. So when Tyrone gets out of place, Mr. Hawkman is going to shoot him in the head and show all the other kids why they should sit there and listen. The white man's a goddamn devil the Bible speaks of. I'm trying to tell you. So if they can't control, Mr. Hawkman can't control Tyrone and Roger and Taekwon, he got that pistol on his hip.
Same thing with slavery. He was
The overseer.
The overseer.
The overseer. If the overseer didn't see you doing your work, they whipped you. There you go. Because just going on what Abu was saying, all right, what the brother Marka was saying about what Khan Academy is trying to is there's a good thing or a bad thing they're doing, all right, is that they're letting the parents be able to control what the child is learning, but then they're still teaching the same lies that the public school is teaching. All right, so bring this out. Read.
This is the book of Jeremiah, a powerful Levite, chapter 16 and verse 19. O Lord, my strength and my fortress.
O Lord, my strength and my fortress. The Most High is the strength of my fortress. Read.
And my refuge in the day of affliction. The Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth,
Gentiles shall come unto thee at the ends of the earth, read, from the ends of the earth, read.
and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit.
Con. So they're inheriting the lies, vanity that has no profit, all the stuff like the math
All
and
the
everything.
foul things of their imagination.
Con.
They're coming from the ends of the earth with all those foul things of their imagination, man. That's why they try to teach kids in school to use your imagination. That is vain and vanity. Don't use your imagination because it's not real. You're not going to create things from your imagination. The Most High Yahweh is going to plant that in your head at night and what He needs you to do. But He ain't going to use those other nations because they're vain. They're just a bunch of liars. They're going to come up with a bunch of vain things and they're going to spew vanity to everybody.
So then the white man.
All right, Esau will always inherit lies. All right, no matter what happens.
See, he
All right.
pushes vanity. See? He pushes vanity, and he's a vagabond. Difference between a bum and a vagabond. Big difference. And we're gonna go.
So, factory model hell. The whole history of education itself, I'm just gonna just go into what I'm talking about, was nowhere as smooth or cohort as Kant's simple timeline would suggest. There was a vast differences between public education, man's home, state of Massachusetts, and the rest of country. In the rest of the country. In the South, before and after the Civil War, no doubt, as an expanding West, and there have always been objections for multiple quarters, particularly from religious groups, to the shape that schooling has taken. Arguments over what public education should look like and what purpose public education should serve. God, country, community, the economy, the self are not new.
Con, you can already tell that they don't follow God. All right, they don't do nothing. Because if they follow God, they wouldn't be having a school. All right.
It wouldn't be homosexual kids in school.
Con. Bring it out.
These battles have persisted, frequently with handwriting about education's ongoing failures. And as such, they have shaped and yes, changed what happens in school. The industrial era school. Salcon Harley, the only one who tells the story of the factory of model education that persists the United States adopted persuasion school system and to create a complement populace. It's a story cited by homeschoolers, and by libertarians. It's a story featured in one of the Sir Cons Robinson's TED Talks. It's a story told by John Taylor Gatto in his 2009 book, Weapons of Mass Instructions. It's a story echoed by the New Yorker's David Brooks. Here, he is in 2012, the American education model was actually copied from the 18th century persuasion model designed to create docile subjects and factory workers.
So while you're over here trying to teach your child to be firm and masculine, they're over here trying to teach you to be docile and to work for them. All right. Bring it out.
So, while the school system is trying to teach your child to be docile, they're trying to domesticate your child. That's what they're trying to do. They want them docile, all right? They want them on that assembly line not thinking. They want him to be able to just do the work without thinking. Who does that, man? They want him to just do the work and not know that it's unjust the way you treat him.
They'll give you a time limit to do the work.
Yeah, hey, beep, it's break time. You know what I'm saying?
When you at work, they give you
A schedule.
now you know when you go to lunch. You got to follow that schedule, man. You got to be on that job at the right time.
You gotta follow
The schedule, man. It's that beat. It's the bell. You go from that bell to work, man. You got the same bell from school to work, man. Same bell. But they want to teach your kids to be docile. That's why it says, raise the child up in the way that he should go. This is Job 38:3. Gird up now thy loins like a man, for I will demand of thee, and answer thou me. And that's what a father teaches his son, to gird your loins up. Boy, you heard what I said? Answer me. And the Most High God requires that. He don't want no docile kids, man.
The Lord is a man of war. No. We don't raise docile children, man. That's why our kids don't need to be in the school system learning from other nations. Period. You see something?
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32 and verse 8. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. He never meant us to be next to each other like that. He never meant us to be learning from each other like that. We're going to be learning from ourselves because we have the law. That's it. We're going to teach them the law. That's it. All right? So Shalom, Mark, how you doing? Yeah, his bond just had a lesson, so he had to do that, so it wasn't no questions. How you been, man? Yeah, what's your name again? Gabriel, what's up, bro? Gabriel? Gabriel? Hey, Gabriel. Let me say, hey, Gabriel, yeah. You know, my bond's in Akaria. I'm Marakai. We saw you like, what, 2 weeks ago? Huh? Oh, that's, hey, all praises. Hey, hallelujah, you're back. You know what I mean? All praise to the Most High God, Yahweh. You're back. You're here. We see your beard. Look at that. He ain't cut the beard off. You know what I'm saying? So what's up, man? You got any questions?
Yeah, well, in regards to what you were just talking about, like,
Yeah, go ahead.
what should I do if I'm in college? You know, stay in college, obviously.
Get that education. Get it, because you needed to have a job. We telling a bro right now, he's in our camp. He's not here today, you know, for some technical difficulties. You know, no excuses. That's the 13th stone, you know what I mean? But we're telling him, too, to go back to school. Get that. Because you know better now. The fact that you know better is a beautiful thing, man.
And then, like, also, I'm confused on myself just because, like, you know, the other doctrines on YouTube and stuff, and people say, like,
You gotta speak up. Come scoot over, son.
like, their definition of, like, a mamzer.
Oh, a mamzer.
Yeah, like, it said, and I forgot where I saw it on, like, the Jewish, or the lexicon, something like where it had a definition of it. And
What did it say?
It's like a Jewish father and a heathen mother. And so I'm like, I don't know, like, how
That's
you
crazy.
say that, you know?
Because usually the Jewish people say that they're who their mother is.
Oh, yeah, I know. But like,
Yeah.
I forgot where I saw it, but that's what it said. And
Yeah.
I just want to know how you felt on that.
It's a bastard child. It's a mamzer is a child like you heard the story a lot. The story a lot how his daughter slept with him. And get that Baba Kusha. Huh? It's in let's look it up. Let's look it up, man. We got time.
Like, I'm just trying to find out if I'm really, like, part of Israel, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I know Mexicans, like, because that's all disputed and stuff, but I've seen it written where it says they had Jewish customs. So I already knew
The Jewish customs don't make. Matter of fact, there's no such thing as Jewish.
Oh yeah.
If you look to the suffix of that Jewish, it means pertaining to, not real. Jew is just one tribe. They only could claim it to be one tribe. That's it.
So Jew customs then?
Huh?
Would it be just customs
Judah.
of Jew?
Jewish customs. They just saying Jewish customs to our customs. Those are our customs. The nation of Israel. That's our customs. You know what I mean? But that's a long story. That's class time right there. But let's just figure out who you are. All right. What's your father's nationality?
He was Mexican.
Was he a Mexican citizen? Was he actually a conquistador, but a Mexican citizen that moved there to live there? Or was he born there? He was Azteca. He was of the people that were from that land.
I know his father was from Mexico, but his mom, my grandma, she's like light skinned. So she has like Spanish. But
We're worried about the father only.
Yeah, his dad was from Mexico, I know that. So
His dad was from Mexico, and that's what you know?
That's all I know. Yeah.
So, hold that real quick and give me, So we're going to answer that first, and then we're going to get a mamzer. All right? We're going to answer those things, you know? You can hit this right here. I'm still teaching them, man. I'm still teaching them.
That's good.
You know, hey, this guy right here, he just, so, you got it? So, you may be lost a little bit about stuff, but this is how we tell who anybody is, all right? First, we go through archaeology with a person, but when it all comes down to, we can go through archaeology, we can go through science, we can go through lineages, is your patrilineage, and we can go through all those things, and we can come up with something that's just crazy with it, and it makes no sense, but you know who we are. But we're gonna go to the book. We're gonna go to the law. We're gonna go to the commandments on everything, right? That's how we tell anything, and this is one of the ways to tell who you are. Read.
Romans 8:16. The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit.
The what?
The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit.
The Spirit, which is the Spirit, which is the Bible, bear witness with our spirit. Read.
That we are the children of God.
That we are the children of God. That's how we tell who you are. We tell by your spirit. Come on. We can tell by your spirit who you are. This is the way you act. We can tell how Jake is. We know Jake. We Jake ourselves, and we know how we are. That's why you hang out amongst the brothers. The more you hang out with us, the more we're going to know who the hell you are. That's why we know who you are. What's going on, brother?
You got it, brother. How you doing?
Hey, I'm good. You got it, man. You tell me. Hey, I'm out here trying to help you.
Hey, don't help me, baby.
Hey, then stand there. Stand there in thy spot. All right, listen. So, the Spirit bear witness with our spirit that we are the people of this book. We can go through the book of the curses, all right? And if those curses fit you, then we can tell who you are. Because if they don't fit you, and they don't fit your ancestors, you are heathen. But if they do, you Israel. And your spirit is going to keep you coming around. That's how you know you Israel. Because you know what you got to do. Your spirit is going to keep you coming. And the more you hang out with us, you'll be able to relate. It's about relation. You'll be able to relate with us every single time. All right? So now, we answered that. Now we're going to go to a mamzer. All right? Read.
Genesis 19:30. And Lot went up out of Zoar and dwelt in the mountain, and his two daughters with him.
So what happened was the two angels that came to Lot, right? They came to the gate. Lot met him at the gate, long story short. All right? And they was telling Lot, Abraham's nephew, that they're about to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. Hold on. They were about to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. Right? What is Sodom? What is Sodom? What is it reference to?
Egypt.
Nope.
Like homosexuality.
Boom. Homosexuality. This place was full of homosexuality and all kinds of transgressions. The Most High was just, since his age, was to put everybody to death. All right, read.
For he feared to dwell in Zoar, and he dwelt in a cave, he and his 2 daughters.
So imagine a bunch of stone rocks coming hitting the ground from out of the sky, right? That's some crazy ish. That's just fire. Brimstone. And it was fire. They didn't see a rock. You saw fire from the sky. And it was coming. So imagine that. They went and hid into a cave, him and his daughter. They scared as hell. They went into them cave. I mean, you gonna run into a cave too.
Nobody else.
Yeah. If that stuff is happening, you don't think nobody alive after that. When you see something like that, they ran into a cave. And they did something. This is what they did. Read.
And the firstborn said unto the younger, Father is old, and there is not a man in the earth to come unto us after the manner of all the earth.
So they said there was no man in the earth. They just saw all that. They just say, ain't nobody alive after that. That place was hit. The Most High hit that place, man. Remember, he said he ain't going to destroy it by fire no more. I mean, by water no more. It's going to be fire. Read.
Come, let us make our father drink wine, and we will lie with him.
They said, what?
Come, let us make our father drink wine, and we will lie with him.
Not like lie on the side of him and chill with their father so he can relax and just be okay and everything. No, they talking about lie with him. Read.
That we may
preserve seed of our father. And they made their father drink wine that night. And the firstborn went in and lay with her father, and he perceived not when she lay down, nor when she arose.
So she went in there and lay with her father. He didn't know when she came in and when she left. He was that drunk. They got him drunk. Remember, they thought everything was gone. So they were just trying to preserve his seed so it can be more kids in the earth. Read.
And it came to pass on the morrow that the firstborn said to the younger, Behold, I lay yesternight with my father. Let us make him drink wine this night also, and go thou in and lie with him, that we may preserve the seed of our father. And they made the father drink wine that night. And the younger arose and lay with him, and he perceived not when she lay down, nor when she arose.
So he didn't know when she came in and when she left. He was that drunk. Read.
And they were both the daughters of Lot, with child by their father. And the firstborn bare a son, and called his name Moab. The same is the father of the Moabites unto this day.
Those are the Chinese. Read.
And the younger, she also bare a son, and called his name Benami. The same is the father of the children of Ammon unto this day.
Japanese. So that's what a mamzer is. That's incest. All right. That's also the prime definition of a bastard. Not a kid, a legitimate kid without a father. It's a person like a daughter sleeping with her father, or my son sleeping with his cousin. That's a mamzer. That's a bastard. All right. So, are you a bastard? All right. Okay. You're not a mamzer. Okay. What other questions?
I don't know, just like what's before, like, because I know you believe in like Babylon and stuff, and there was like prophets then. But what, like, do you know anything about Sumeria or like?
Samaria?
Yeah, does that?
What
have
about
anything-
Samaria?
Does it have any connection, like,
So what?
to like Israel or anything?
Yeah, we had
Because that's like a whole nother like.
The tribe of Ephraim.
The tribe of Ephraim was in Samaria. That's the Samaria. That's your land. That's a so-called. That was the northern kingdom of Israel's land. It's the land of Samaria.
So yeah, there's prophets.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
that's pretty much it. Okay. Let me get your sword. Get my sword. No, because I got stuff on here. So I just want to ask some questions. So, what do you think about the relationship between Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Indians? I just want to ask you that. Go in on there. I want to hear just our relationship, what we have with one another.
Like community, basically, stuff in common. Like,
Community, how we treat one another, and everything. Go give me here. Go ahead. You can use this because it's light. Go ahead. Right. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 54. Like, for instance, I can be walking down the street and see a Hispanic brother, Cholo, Avanto, whatever. We're going to look at each other as we're about to do something to one another. You know, we're looking at each other like that. That's what we call, that's what we'll say our eye is evil towards one another. So that is one of them. I'm going to get that real quick. Go ahead. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 54.
Hey, what's going on, brother? How you doing? Yeah? Hey, can I ask you a question? What do you think about the relationship between Hispanic Native Indians and Negroes? What do you think about that relationship? See, that's a question you just don't come across. Seriously. Yes, of course. I am. Y'all the same people. What are you talking about? Just different tribes. So it's a good question to ask that in front of her.
Okay, you got the microphone.
Come.
Be quiet for a minute.
Hold on, brother. Let's be respectful.
You get respectful.
I am going to be respectful. That's Azteca, right? Mexica?
She ain't talking about look.
Okay.
But what I'm trying to tell you is this.
Go ahead.
We're both minorities. Okay? We're both minorities. So therefore, instead of trying to fix one race, you fix all minorities.
I agree. I totally agree.
The other minority is not your enemy. There's a majority that's your enemy.
I agree.
The majority wins when it's just me and you. But when it's us, or when it's all of us, the majority still wins.
And I agree with you, brother. I agree with you. I totally agree with you. And that's what we are here for. See, what we are here for is to talk about the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indians. Panamanians, Guatemalans, and Salvadorians, and Hondurans.
Right, but it came off kind of wrong, bro.
No, it didn't. I said, what do you think about the relationship between the Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians? The relationship. I didn't come off wrong at all. You thought wrong. In the back of your mind, you thought that I was talking about the gang and violence and everything else, but you thought wrong. Because I didn't say, hey, didn't I say the relationship between the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians? And you said, why ask that in front of her?
Bro, why?
In the back of your mind, bro, that's what you thought. So you pulled a false report, because I didn't say that.
Okay, look.
The reason why I say that is because this brother right here is Azteca. He's Mexica.
Hey,
just real quick.
What I'm trying to tell you.
Real quick.
One, you got that.
Exactly.
But get some respect to somebody trying to talk back to you because you have.
What you mean respect? This is my phone.
Then don't ask me. Don't ask me.
I asked you a question. Hey, he's the same tribe as she is. Yeah, you getting all in your feelings and emotional. Ain't nobody doing that but you.
Yeah, but you talking about.
See, you said you agreed that you getting emotional. I'm not getting emotional, bro. This ask you a simple question. You can, brother. You can do whatever you want to do. Ain't nobody up here fearing you.
One dude.
Exactly. He's Mexica. He's Azteca. He's my people. He's from the same damn land as us. This is Mexica.
One person, bro. Ain't nobody trying to hear you.
I'm talking to 3,000 people.
Where?
On this camera. 3,000 people. And we got a brother getting in his feelings and getting emotional, talking about fighting. Hey, read that precept. Read that precept. Read that precept. Read that precept. Read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 54.
Watch this.
So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother.
His what?
His eye shall be evil toward his brother.
That's what happened between Negroes and Native Indians. Our eye is evil towards our brother. We can't even have a simple damn conversation with nobody. And he talking about he gonna whip somebody's ass. Ain't nobody out here fearing nobody. We just want to have a conversation. Simple and plain. Our own brother from our own tribe talking about whipping somebody's ass because I asked him in front of a Latina female, which is our people. She's a Latina princess. She's our own damn nation of women. How is that disrespectful? Now you see what I mean? We don't have no damn respect for each other. Off a simple question, he took totally to the left. Then he read that. Like somebody up here scared. Ain't no damn body. We come out here bold as hell. We ain't scared of no damn body. What he gonna do? Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you,
that's how we used to treat each other, delicate. What you need, brother? I got you. You come to me in need, I'm gonna help you out. That's delicate, man. My eye is not evil towards you. If I ask you a question, just answer the question. Why do you have to get all emotional about it? It was a simple question, man. That's it, read.
His eye shall be evil toward his brother.
His what?
His eye shall be evil toward his brother.
He talking about whooping his brother ass for nothing. Because he emotional. And I'm talking to him on a mic. It don't even have to be a mic. Right?
And toward his wife, and toward the wife of his bosom.
And he's evil towards his wife. Know why? Because he's not sitting here showing her that he knows how to behave himself in public with his own damn people. We talking about everybody else he talking about. I agreed with him. But you know what he did? In the back of his mind, he said, fuck him. That's just what he said. He said, man, why he got to disrespect that sister talking about that? Why not? We can't even talk about simple conversations. You see what I mean? It was so simple. I said, brother, what do you think about the relationship between the Negroes, Latinos, and Native women? He got mad. Obviously, he don't like Mexican men, but he liked their women. You see what I mean? That's hatred. Dislike. Dislike is a synonym for hatred. He hates his own damn brother, man. When you want to fight your brother over something simple, you hate him. He hates his own people. He hates the Mexican men that he's dating their women. And not knowing that they're from the same damn nation. That's what we are here to do. And the scripture says if they get up, if they knock their head against, knock your head right back against theirs. What do you think, I was going to back down or something? He did, huh? Then he talking about boxing and everything else. Come on, man. We're not out here for that. We just ask a simple question. Read that. Was that it? Right there. Right there is my proof. That those are curses. Those are curses. He's just right there. Manifestation right there in the spirit, man. Right there. Hey, go to my gallery. Let me see. Let me see something. Keep going. Yeah. Whatever. So, it's all right. Just start picking precepts and read them, and I'll break them down. Good, good. So what do you think about the relationship inside the home?
Between what?
The relationship in the home, between the fathers. Between the Negro, Latino, Native Indian fathers and their sons. What do you think about those relationships?
It's important.
Huh?
It's important.
It's what?
It's important.
It's what?
Important.
It's important. But what's happening to our relationship? Like, your father, where was he?
He died when I was 2.
He died when you was little?
Yeah.
How did he die?
I think he was like, he's from TJ,
Okay.
and so my mom said he started to get into like bad stuff, like drugs maybe, and I think he might have owed people money, and
Ooh.
they like,
Okay.
I think he got shot
That's
up.
Deuteronomy.
He got shot up for sure.
Come. That's 54 again. That's an eyes evil towards his brother. That's a curse, man. That's a curse.
That's what makes me like question, like maybe I am, because he was in Mexico with his own people and like all that happened.
Yeah, who your father is, man. Those are just curses, man. I mean, let me see. Go back to my well, what about this one? What do you think about this one? Give me Genesis 8:21. See, this is why the Most High destroyed the earth the first time. All right, with water. Because of man's imagination. His imagination. Vain. His lies. He takes counsel of his own mind. We take counsel of elders. If we got a problem, we have an elder over there. All right? And if this elder can't answer that problem, we got another elder. And if we need to, we can get on the phone with a bunch of elders and hold counsel to get this problem solved. Read that real quick, Don.
Genesis 8:21. And the Lord smelled a sweet savor. And the Lord said in his heart, I will not again curse the ground anymore for man's sake. For For the imaginations of man's heart is evil from his youth.
So this man has been evil since his youth. He's foolish. He didn't even know he got all puffed up and stuff because it's just another nigga to him. And then he started talk about the other question. That's what we doing. He didn't give me enough time to tell him why. He started getting in his feelings. For what?
We get better.
Why get mad at a mic? If a white man was right here with a mic, would he get mad? No. Because he hates his own damn brother. I'm out here asking subjects that pertain to the hatred that Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indians show each other. We show each other hatred, but we don't show the white man hatred. The white man's killing us in these streets. And we're sitting here getting mad at each other for what? Why are you mad at me? All they did was, after the Negroes stopped working in slavery, they chose the Mexican to work in slavery. That's all they did. The same damn people, man. Going through the same curses. You are poor on your own land. I'm poor on my brother's land. How is that? Read that. Finish. You got that? Go back to the... Okay, sorry. I just want something else. Sirach, give me Sirach 11:28. What man, that is crazy. So you can't let that throw you off though.
It didn't have to go that way.
It really did. It didn't, man. But you saw the hatred. And about boxing. Didn't he say something about boxing? He said, meet me at a place where we can box. For what? Why? I don't get it. That's hatred for your brother. That's dislike. Me, because I love him, I asked him something. And then I rebuked him. All right? It's all hatred. Read.
Sirach 11:28. Judge none lest before his death, for a man shall be known of his children.
So a man shall be known of his children. I would like to meet his father, because his son is very emotional. A man shall be known of his children. So judge no man blessed before his death. His father should be very ashamed of what his son is out here acting. That's the most important thing about being a father, man, is to make sure your son is not emotional. Make sure your son can answer questions, man, and be diligent about it, and be quick about it, and be humble. To humble yourself down. You just dishonored his father. He dishonored his head, man, while he was out here. He was a big dishonor to his father, the way he was acting towards his own brother. His eye is evil towards his brother. So that can tell you right there, he either don't have his father in his home, or he just don't care. That's it, man. His father was idle, now he's idle. Now he's just going around putting his rod into everything, not knowing who that woman is. And we all did the same thing. I'm not going to sit and say like we up here perfect. Well, I am. I keep the law. So, you know what I'm saying? Keep the law. That's it. Keep the law. I don't hate my brother, but I will rebuke the hell out of him. All right? Just go to Sirach 31. Or go to 30. This precept right here is what's wrong with children today and why they end up like that. And he's a good example of what should not happen to your children and what happens in the home. All right? This is what happened. This is why the father is so important that the father is in the home. It's for situations just like this. Read.
Sirach 30:1. He that loveth the son causes them oft to feel the rod, that he may have joy in them at the end.
So why? Why do you often make your son feel the rod? It says because you can have joy of him, right? If you want to have joy in your son, you will cause him often to feel the rod. Why?
Make sure he knows what's right and wrong.
Exactly. It's correction. Correction is good, man. And what is that? Rebuke is secret love? I'm a rebuke you. Yeah, open rebuke is better than secret love. I open rebuked him instead of secretly acting like I love him. That was love right there. That was love. He don't think so. He's going home thinking I hate him. But he was dead wrong. And I caught him up in it. Example right there. Keep reading.
He that chastiseth his son shall have joy in him, and shall rejoice of him amongst all his acquaintances.
So you're not going to hear no bad stories about your son. You're going to have joy in him in front of all your brothers, all your bros. You're going to be in front of all your bros, and they're going to be looking at your bond and looking at you. Hey, man, that young man right there. He's a promising young man. You're going to have joy in him. Your mind is going to be joyful, man. Heart is a good medicine. It's the best medicine always. Read.
He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy.
What?
He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy.
Obviously, his father didn't teach him nothing good, because he's not going to grieve the enemy. He's just going to grieve his own damn brother. That's it. He's not listening. He's not listening, man. You got this sign right here, and I'm like, didn't even ask what we was doing, man. Why was asking the question and nothing? He just got emotional, man. Read.
And before his friends he shall rejoice of him. Though his father die, yet is he, though he were not dead.
So, when your father is dead, it want to be as he is not dead. Because everybody want to see you in your son. Everybody's going to see you in your son. It's going to be like you never even left. And you know what? When people look at you and they see your son, you know what else your son is going to be able to do?
For he hath left one behind him that is like himself. While he lived, he saw and rejoiced in him. And when he died, he was not sorrowful. He left behind him an avenger against his enemies.
He left behind what?
He left behind him an avenger against his enemies.
He left behind him an avenger against his enemies. He taught his son how to tell who is in his enemy. That's what you got to do. Teach your son who your enemy is, who his enemy is. And sometimes it's his own people. We just said that at the beginning. Sometimes it's your own people, man. That's it. That's our own enemy. Right there. You may walk by him and think this is an okay guy. But once you start to talk to him, and you get his point of views, then you're going to know that's your enemy. See? Your enemy. Spirit. Manifestation, man. Read.
And one that shall requite kindness to his friends.
And he's going to do the same thing you did. You know how you have barbecues every new Shabbat? Well, not new Shabbat. You know, every feast day you had barbecues and everything on feast days? He's going to do the same thing you do. And he's going to invite your friends over and quick kindness to him. Hey, brother. And he's always going to feed the Levite first. The Levite. You know, thou shalt not forsake the Levite. The Levite get the biggest portions of the plate. Know why? Because they're the closest to the Most High. Having a Levite in your house is like, it should be like having the Most High there. Read. Now keep reading. Keep reading. And we're going to go in.
He that maketh too much of his son shall bind up his wounds, and bowels will be troubled at every cry.
So, and another thing, you know how people say you're a real proud son of a bitch to be exalting your son like that all the time? Well, that's a lot of pride, man. Don't be exalting your son like that all the time, man. You know, let him be himself. He don't need to be around everybody and you're exalting him because you're going to make him nervous. Whenever it's time to be productive or produce whatever you said your son could do, he might get nervous, man, and bound up his wounds. He gonna feel like he got to throw up or something, man. You know, don't exalt him like that all the time, man. You know, your boys come up and be like, hey, man, your son, that's a good man. Be like, hey, the water, man, the water. The water. You know? Hey, don't be proud, man. You know, pride puffeth up, man, you know, and it makes you look like an asshole. Right? So, yeah, man, don't boast on your son like that. That's me. I don't do it, but, you know, once I came into this precept, I stopped doing it. Because I found out that I was doing something wrong, man. I don't want my son not to be able to produce. Feel me? You got it? Let's go.
Conquer thy child, he shall make thee afraid. Play with him, and he will bring thee to heaviness.
You know what conquer means?
Take over.
It means baby him. Conquer thy child, and he's gonna make you nervous because you babied him. You know, you don't. What's that called when your kid he's no, not breastfed. When you always got your kid around you, never let him do anything. Overprotective, but what's the other word for it?
Shelter.
Yeah, he becomes a mama's boy, a daddy's boy. No, but not that. That's not the word I'm looking for. That's not the word I'm looking for, though. I think you know what I'm looking for.
Like sheltered.
Sheltered. He's a sheltered child. You don't want to shelter your child. All right, you don't want to shelter him. You want to let him get out. I found that hard myself. Just be like, let him get out. I don't want my body to go out. Hey, man, hey, don't do that. Don't do that. And sometimes he felt that I never let him do anything. I was sheltering him because I knew what was out there, but I need to let him know. I need to let him figure out himself what's out there too. I'm going to tell him, and that's a good thing because he has you to tell him. Imagine if he doesn't have a father telling him what's out there. So now he knows it's out there. So when he go out there, he's going to see, yeah, my mama told me about you, fool. I ain't telling with you. And now he knows. And he knows better now. Because now he's going to be able to see it. Read. So don't baby a child. Never baby him. Read.
Give him no liberty in his youth, and weak not at his follies.
Don't let him do whatever he wants to. That's why this precept says, raise a child in the way that he should go. And it also says, don't give him much liberty in his youth, man. Don't just let him do whatever the hell he wants to do. That's what parents do these days. That's why their kids start shooting people from the top of the building. Because they let them do whatever they want to do. You see what I mean? You don't do that. You don't conquer him. You don't baby him. You don't shelter him. That way he knows how to live in this world, man. Because when you're gone, you left behind an avenger to your enemies, man. And when your kid don't know how to be an avenger to your enemies, we get this. Has a gun on his side, and if he saw a Negro, Latino, Native Indian getting beat by the cops, he's going to help the cops. Read. Pastors.
Bow down his neck while he is young, and beat him on his sides while he is a child, lest he wax stubborn and be disobedient unto thee, and so bring sorrow in thine heart.
So it also gives you instructions on how to beat your child. Most parents, they take a switch or a rope and they beat the kid all over his body. That is child abuse. You got the sides right here, on the side of his thighs, man. Not the side of his ribs or his arm and below his knees. You got his thighs. Them shits hurt. Do they hurt? And I'm not trying to embarrass my bond or nothing, but hey, I love my child, so he done had his fair share. So it hurts. Hey, that's how you teach me. I love my bond. I ain't gonna let my bond go off and do nothing crazy. So I'm finna beat his sides. I'm finna let him know. All right? Read. Yeah, keep going. We're gonna hit the whole F.O.R 30. Come on.
Chastise thy son and hold him to labor, lest his lewd behavior be an offense unto thee.
Make him take out the trash. All right? Make him clean his room. Make him mop the floor. Nah, that's the woman's. If you got a wife, her job is to mop the floor. Give her a purpose. Hey, wash some dishes and do that floor. All right? All right? I think the floor is mutual. I think both can do it. Because I know in my house, I really like doing the floor. The dishes, no. No, I don't. That's the woman's job. You got a daughter and a wife, your job. Go bust them suds. All right? That way their nails always clean. Nails got to be clean when doing the food, right? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, hey, unless they wax stubborn, give them something to do, man. Always give them something to do. What's going on, sis? What you doing today? Hey, I know what you should be doing. You should have your ace up here listening, right? Am I right? I'm right, huh? Yeah, you know I'm right. What's up? What are you listening to? What's your father's nationality, sis? Yeah, your father's nationality. Huh? He's African American? What do you know about Africa? Yeah. It's a continent, right? A big old landmass. Can I ask you this right here? Do Somalians call themselves African? What about Arabics? They're real proud, huh? I'm a Chaldean. I'm Arabic. Right? Who are the only people that call themselves Africans? But did you know Africa was named after Leo Scipios Africanicus, a white Grecian general? A white man, a Grecian general. Do you extend from a white man? Because you know, like the color in the Crayola box, right? Every color comes from that black crayon. So therefore, you can't be African. Hold on. See this Hispanic powerful brother right here? This land belonged to them. It was called Timbuktu before it was called America, huh? You don't know? But it was. It was called Timbuktu. You should read a book called Babylon and Timbuktu. Everybody get that book, Babylon and Timbuktu. This place was called Timbuktu first. All right? Therefore, it is not America. You cannot steal something and name it after yourself. That's like me stealing your stuff and naming it after myself. I can't do that, right? It's against the law, right? Therefore, you're not African nor American, and black is a color from a Crayola box. I just took your identity. Who are you? Get that real quick. Leviticus 19. You know what I'm talking about. What do you think about that, sis? Come on, man. And I see a certain spirit on you. I can see a spirit. I'm a brother of the spirit, right? This spirit, the Holy Scriptures, I'm a brother of this spirit. Because this spirit bear witness with my spirit that I'm the people of this book. And I also learned how to see spirits on other people, right, sis? Right? So that's what I do. And I want to see if this fits you. Now, let me ask you something. Do you believe in God? All right. Do you believe in the Bible? You do, right? No, you do. So if I point out something that you were doing wrong from the Bible, would you repent and not do it again? You say you love God. Don't you sit up here and be a blasphemer. You better not do it. Huh? So you a woman at your word? All right, let's find out. Read this.
Leviticus 20:13. If a man also lie with you. If a man lie with mankind, as he lied with a woman, both of them have committed abomination. They shall surely be put to death.
They shall what?
They shall surely be put to death.
You want to be put to death? So, the spirit that is on you
is an abominable spirit. Go get that in Romans. Romans 1? Go ahead. You heard him? So, that is a abominable spirit on you, sis. Do you like women? No. Do you sleep with women? That is very abominable. That is of... Hey, check this out. Sis, we've been here for over 400 years, right? We are a dead nation. We don't know what it is like to be us. We've been under subjection of the same people for the past 400 years. Now you got to understand who's the original faggot. We are following after his ways. That is not you. You are a Zion princess, not a queen. Queen comes from an old English word of prostitute and whore. All right? You're not a prostitute. You're not a queen. You're a princess. You must act as such. You have a vile affection that is not supposed to be like that. You are doing something else. You are doing something else and following after another nation that you're not supposed to be following, because we're up under subjection of somebody else's laws. We're not following our laws. Read that.
Romans 1:24. Wherefore God also gave them up to uncleanness.
So the Most High God gave you up to uncleanness. Know why? Because you're not following the laws. And this is why. Again, read.
Through the lust of their own hearts.
Through the what?
Through the lust of their own hearts.
That's lust of your own mind. The heart is the mind. And this is the Biblios right now. We just reading it on the phone because we ain't got much light. That's lust of your own heart, sis. Read.
Skip down to 26 to 27. For this, because God gave them up unto vile affections, for even their women did change the natural use of unto that which is against nature.
You changed the natural use of yourself that is against nature. Nature has order. Man, woman, child. Man, woman reproduce together. Woman is not supposed to sleep with woman. The white man gives that law for you to do that, and you took it up with your vile affection and said, cool, I'm going to do what I want to do. But the Most High God said he's going to destroy you where you stand. If you keep doing what you're doing, you have time to repent. You have time to change from that. You have time to put that bike down, come listen, and stop doing it. You still got a little time to repent because of your lineage and who you are, your bloodline. You are royalty. You don't need to be acting like a white woman. You're better than her. You're way better than a white woman. That's why they want to be like you. That's why they go get lips like you. That's why they go get a butt like you. Excuse me, not to reframe you in that way. But that's why they want to be you.
But they try to get you off course. They want you off course. Is that it? Got more? So that is a vile affection, sis. Come on now. We don't need you like that. We need you as a Zion woman, right? Ready to reproduce, not going against nature. You're going against nature. That is not real. That is vanity. That is vain. It's not real. And you said you love God yourself right out your mouth. You leave that alone. Stop it. Stop it. You don't need the box. You need a strong, powerful brother that'll take you up out of that. That clam snatcher. That's no bueno. That's no good. That's not you, sis. And you know it's not. That's why you're going through what you're going through, right? Give me that. The Lord make a picture and make it full. That's when you're going through what you're going through. You're going through a cursing. That's how you can see our people are cursed. And I'm not trying to embarrass you, sis. I'm up here talking to this brother too. Our people are cursed people. We are cursed. We are walking through these streets and we're going after these other nations. And that's what you got to understand too. The woman only follows two things: constitution and power. She's following the constitution of the people that got us in captivity right now. She's going after the order, the laws, and the way that they do things. That's not us. You got our men changing the natural use of a man, but it's vile as well. Not just the women. The women are following after the men. And they're doing their own thing when they're not supposed to. Just like when you were raised, have you raised with your father? And you love your father, don't you? Right? She is naturally obedient to her father. Naturally, her father taught her to be obedient with the men. But she's following the constitution of this world. That's what she's doing. And it is wrong. And I'm rebuking her because that's my sister. I love her. I don't have to be born by the same mother and father, sir, to be a brother, because we both born by the same mother and father. That's why we are all brothers and sisters. Not everybody, but everybody that is on this sign right here. Everybody that's on this sign is your brother and your sister. People you didn't think was the Negroes, West Indians, the Jamaicans, Haitians, the Haitians, the Levites. Those are the Levites. Dominicans, Guatemalans, Panamanians, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, North American Indians, Seminole Indians, Argentinians, Chileans, Colombians, and the Mexicans. Those are your people that they said that wasn't yours and make us fight against each other. Those are your people, man. These are our people right here, and they don't know who the hell they are. They won't listen to nobody. But you got up off your bike to listen to him. He say, sis, turn from that. Repent. Repent. You got that? Read it.
1 Samuel, chapter 2, verse 7.
Read.
The Lord maketh poor, and the Lord maketh rich.
He made us poor because we are not listening to our own love. We're not listening to him. We following after our own love. You can't say you love God and start doing what you want to do. It's not about you. You're letting that little girl that looks at you do just what you do, and she thinks it's right because you're doing it. You're lying to that little girl subliminally without having to even tell her. You're lying to her. So now you can't say you care about a little sister or a little cousin because what you're doing is a lie. You can't say you love nobody, but love yourself first. Then you're going to love her. Change from that crap, man. That is BS. Read that.
He bringeth low and lifteth up.
He bringeth low and he lifteth up. He brought you to this situation. Everything happens for a reason. He brought you to this moment and this time so you can hear me say this right here, to repent or die. You're going to be walking charcoal around me. And that comes from the big mills. The churches, they fake stay away from them. They won't even come up here with us because they know we'll annihilate them with this scripture. We study diligently to show ourselves approved, and we're going to show you everything that you need to know. We're going to show you who you are, and I just told you who you are. You're a Jew. You're a Jew. You're the real Jew. You're the real one. That's why you do everything better than every woman. Every woman wants to look like you. Because you're a bad mamma jamma. But you need to be a bad mamma jamma up under the Most High God Yahweh through His only begotten Son Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Christ. That's how you be bad up under Yahweh. You let Him tell you what you're going to do. You let Him run your life. Now you run your life. There's no such thing as free will. Ain't no such thing as free will. Give me Deuteronomy 28:15 by the Kushah. Ain't no such thing as free will. That's a lie. That's why you don't let people teach your kids. That's why you don't let your kids go to school system, because they learning from the kids of the possessors that conquered us. They're guilty too. They are guilty by association. They call themselves Americans on Timbuktu. They're murderers, and they're guilty, and they get death just by being who they are. Read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15.
What's up? Read.
But it shall come to pass, thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all His commandments.
So if you don't listen, right? Like this brother right here, he knows Manasseh. Manasseh right here. This is Manasseh. It's a Cuban, man. This is the tribe of Manasseh right here. Joseph. That's Joseph right there, man. Issachar right there. He know who he is. Manasseh, Issachar know who they are. Judah, Zion princess right there in the flesh. The woman is by Zion princess, man. Zion princess is right here. Zion princess. You a Zion princess. What's up, man? Keep reading. Keep reading, man.
I command thee this day.
I command you this day, the Most High God said. Read.
That all these curses shall come upon thee.
All these curses. You are in a vile affection. He gave you up. He said, you want to do what you want to do? There you go. You're not listening to Him? There you go. You're supposed to listen to your Father, man. The one who created you. The one who made you who you are. Read.
Upon thee.
Read.
And overtake thee.
Read. Keep reading. There's another precept down below. Matter of fact, go to 1. But if you will listen, just if you will listen. What's your name, sis? Huh? What's your real name, sis? Come on, sis. Let it go. Let it go. We want to hear the feminine out of you. Come on, sis. Come on. What is it? She ain't said it in a long time. What is it? Huh? Danita, read. Watch this, Danita, read.
And it shall come to pass.
Hey, this is going to happen, read.
If thou shalt hearken diligently
If you will listen diligently, read.
unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
What's the voice? These scriptures right here. He's always spoken by the prophet. He don't get off his throne. He gonna send the people he created. Read.
To observe and to do all His commandments,
Just observe.
which I commanded this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations
He
of
gonna
the
set
earth.
you above all the nations on earth. And you already know you belong above all the nations. You know that. You know you're better than those other nations. You know that. Period. Read. What's going on, brother? How you doing, man? Come on. So, hey, come up here. Hey, get a little. No, come this way, Bobby. Good shot. Okay, yeah, come over this way because we can smell it. Yeah, all in the throat. Come on. Read. So that's what it is. You know the curses we ran into? Is your father still at home, sis? Is your mom still at home, sis? How do they get along, sis? They get along real well? What do they think about what you do? Huh? I can't hear you. They let you live your life? Is that the way it's supposed to be? Give me Proverbs 22:6. Hey, but the Most High says now, are you gonna let your child do whatever they want to do? Is that scripture?
Proverbs 22:6. Train up a child in the way he should go.
Hey, train up a child in the way he should go. Not the way that child wants to go. Train him up in the way he should go. The parent is going to let you know what you should be doing. But you know what happened? The school system told you you can do what you want to do. Read.
So when he's old, he will not depart
So
from
when
it.
you're old, he will not depart from it. That's why. It's when you get older, you don't depart from it. Your father's supposed to weigh that weightier matter and marry you off to a powerful brother that has wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. But most of our brothers out here dead. And I don't mean dead physically, I mean dead mentally. They have no knowledge, wisdom, or understanding who they are. So they're going in the wrong direction. They're not paying attention. Thus, they agree to what you're doing. So they're off. They're agreeing. Hey, the scripture says, woe to them who say evil is good and bad, who say
Good is evil.
Good is evil and evil is good. That is evil and destructive and wicked. It is not a good thing. You were created to produce. All the ants they produce, the ants do what they're supposed to do. All the animals in the kingdom do what they're supposed to do. The birds do what they're supposed to do. They're in order. The only people that are out of order is the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indians. They're out of order. You want power. That's what you want. You want my power. But you got power just being a woman. You know that. Your power is to make sure a brother like me got everything that he needs. And he go out there into the world. He's fed, his belly ain't big, he ain't going to work, sleeping on the truck, dying and everything. That's a powerful thing. That's what he's supposed to do. That's why the woman lion goes and get the food. Because she makes sure her husband and everybody in the family eats. That is a power. That's how you were created. But the white man and the white woman makes that to be a bad thing. That's because they are a bunch of vile creatures. They are vile. They go around killing everybody on 7 continents, forcing ideology, forcing everything upon everybody. Customs, the way of life. They don't even know how to live. All they do is kill each other on continents. All they do is stand on top of buildings and shoot each other. All they do is go into schools and kill each other. We ain't doing that. We not like them. Give me that. Jacob is the former of Jacob is not like them. Give me that. Huh? Yeah, Jacob is not like them. We not like them, man. We royalty. You know that. The way we dress is royalty. How we rock our swag is royalty. Everybody want to be like the Negroes, Latinos, the Native Indians. Everybody. You got white people still in their way they cook and everything. We all cook the same. Hey, we just cook beans a different way, right? We cook rice a different way, huh? But it's still the same. He uses seasoning, we use seasoning. But they don't. They not like us. You got that? Read that.
Jeremiah 10:16. The portion of Jacob is not like them.
The portion of Jacob is not like those other nations, man. We do everything differently. We don't do nothing the same. Read.
For he is the former of all things.
He's a what?
He is the former of all things.
Jacob, your forefather, name was changed to Israel. The kids that he had became the former of all things, which is you. And we do everything, right? Dances. You know, we do the running man, you know what I'm saying? The millie walk, you know what I'm saying? We do everything. Everybody want to do it too. As soon as we do it, everybody, king, everything we do. Jacob is the former of all things, man. We made the light. We made everything, man. We made the thing that cools the cell phone down. We made everything, man. The stoplight, all that. We made all that. We the former of all things, man. Keep reading.
And Israel is the rod of his inheritance.
Say that to her again.
For Israel is the rod of his inheritance.
Israel is the rod of his inheritance. Israel is the judgment of his inheritance. We're going to judge everybody. The brothers you see before you, we're going to rule this world in the next coming. We got next. That's why we up here keeping these laws. That's why you see us out here boldly in front of everybody, not giving a good goddamn who got anything to say about it. I don't care. I'm going to keep the law. I'm not going to follow the laws of this land because they're not even in power right now. Azteca followed the laws. They knew the laws of the Bible. So why would I follow the laws that allow me to be a homosexual and teach my kid to go and hump a man in his butt? Allow my daughter to go lick a lick. Come on, man. You know it's wrong. Get out of here with that, man. You know that's wrong. You know it's wrong. You know it's wrong. You know you can't. Come on, big bro over here. Big bro over here. I'm over here. Open your eyes. Big bro over here. Don't deny the Lord. Don't deny him.
Everything was wrong.
Hey, and we here at 12 o'clock. We here at 12 o'clock noon tomorrow. Come back. We out here all the time, man.
I'll be back when I don't get to
Hey. Don't you go doing nothing stupid.
Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here, guys.
I'll be right back.
Thank you, bro.
And we about to close out
Y'all still
here.
right here. What's not hitting y'all though? I seen y'all somewhere
We
before.
at 12 cents. Come on, man. All right. Hey. It's time to repent. Ain't none of that clam smashing no more. All right? You gonna put on a dress. And with that, all honor and glory and praises to the Most High God Yahweh, and we do so in the name of His only begotten Son Hamashiach Yahushua. And with that, death to America.
Death to America. No, I swear to God.